Joe Biden picks up the lead as of this Monday. So Democratic presidential primary polls put Biden first, then Sanders, then Warren, then Bloomberg, and then Gabbard is down there and Buttigieg is down there. Biden. Well, what did Biden just do? Well, Biden did what everybody wants to do when they shut down the conversation. They lump someone in with whatever buzzword or group that they want and say, well, this person is part of this group. And they do it for a soundbite, so that way their constituents can lead with, so-and-so says so-and-so is part of this hate group. So, as my computer completely freezes up, thank you. Biden speaks against racism. Lumps Trump in with KKK during speech before black congregation. Now, this video is going to be bombed from orbit as far as exposure. Less people are going to see it. Your engagement helps override that algorithm. Give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a like, a comment, a subscribe. Anything really helps. It's really, honestly, the best thing that you can do for me right now and help me out. And I really would appreciate it. Former Vice President Joe Biden delivered a speech before a mostly black congregation at the Bethlehem Baptist Church in Columbia, South Carolina, Sunday, in which he spoke of race relations in terms benefiting a biblical prophet, warning of impending destruction. Yes, because that's what we want our Democrats and our possible president to be talking about. Biblical prophecy and warnings of impending destruction. And this is the Democratic frontrunner, and it gets better. Biden's brief address the weekend of Martin Luther King Jr. Day included tales of the civil rights movement, while expressing fear that the progress made during the 1960s was unraveling, at least in part due to President Trump. Yes, because everything is President Trump's fault. Nobody in the world ever has anything to do with anything without Trump having his finger on it and telling them, do this, do this, do this. It's like the Democratic, it's like the House trial for impeachment. The whole trial, we're told by the Democrats, we're going to see this, we're going to get this. This is what you're going to hear Trump say. These are the charges that we're going to have. And what do we get? None of what they promised us that we would get. Maybe they didn't promise us, but they said this is what you're going to get. I mean, Schiff right off the bat set the whole tone for the thing when he said you're going to hear Trump say this in the phone call and that in the phone call, and you're going to know that Trump had said this, and we didn't hear any of that. And then they came out with the we're going to charge Trump with this, and they polled it to find out which charges sounded the worst to the American people. And then we didn't even get those ones that polled well. And it makes the Democratic Party look wishy-washy and all over the place and like they have no clue what they're doing. And where are the moderate Democrat candidates? Where are the moderates? Where are they? I don't know. I don't see them. So we have a choice, all of us in the middle, the center, center-right, the slight few that are in the center-left, to choose between going way far left or going just a little bit further right. Those are our choices at this point. Folks, Biden said, some mornings I wake up and I think it's more like what it must have been in the 1920s than 2020. Yes, Joe Biden, because this is exactly what it is like in 1920. This is what it was like in the 1920s. We've just had a black president. People have rights. It is illegal to discriminate against somebody for, well, at this point, basically any reason at all whatsoever. If I want to go out and I want to claim to be a bacon double cheeseburger and my people are the most oppressed in the history of history because millions of my people are eaten every day, well, then society has to accept that I'm a bacon double cheeseburger and I am rallying for my people because my people's voice is not heard because they haven't learned how to talk yet. And if your bacon double cheeseburger does start talking to you, let me know because that would be some crazy stuff. But he went on to recall the efforts and success of the civil rights movement, saying that at the time people thought we began to move and that civil rights was beginning to make some real progress. And it has. It has. What, are you trying to erase everything that everybody has accomplished, that people have given their lives in some cases for, to get to this point where we have equal rights and we have enshrined in law equal rights? What are you saying, Biden? What are you saying? Biden forebodingly claimed that this progress was part of a movement that has not been able to be stopped until recently, warning that while I thought you could defeat hate, hate only hides. Yes, orange man bad. I don't support Trump. I'm not against Trump. I'm for reality. I'm for actuality. I'm for common sense. I'm for middle ground. I've got some liberal ideas and I've got some conservative ideas. The 2020 presidential hopeful then referenced the conflict that took place at the 2017 Unite the Right white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, in which a woman was killed during clashes between rally participants and counter-protesters. But it wasn't the rally participants and counter-protesters. It was an idiot in a car that slammed through it. So don't conflate everything into one thing. You're taking an entire group and you're taking one person that was an idiot and drove through all these people and conflating the whole situation. We don't want someone like that as our president. You've got to be able to see and read between the lines and see past the bullshit. This video's demonetized and limited on views anyway, so I'll just say it. The bullshit. Biden then mentioned President Trump's initial response to the Charlottesville incident, in which he referred to very fine people on both sides, drawing widespread criticism. But what is wrong with that phrase? On every side, there are fine people on both sides, and there are bad people on both sides. It's a factual statement. Not one of any group is all bad, and not one of any group is all good. I mean, seriously, even within groups that are inherently bad and have a bad rep for doing bad things, there are people within that are actually good people who've just been kind of sucked up to it. All of one people are not all one way. It's just, yes, so there's very fine people on both sides. Yeah, obviously there are. That's a factual statement. What I realized is that hate just hides, Biden said after recalling this. And what comes out from under the rocks when it gets a little bit of oxygen. What? That doesn't make sense. And when it comes out from under the rocks, when it gets a little bit of oxygen, it what? What? It what? What happens when it gets a bit of oxygen? Finish the sentence. The former vice president then went even further, connecting Trump to racism. Yes. Here we go. This president and his pause, the Ku Klux Klan. Now that pause is very important. I am a study of human nature. It has literally saved my life more times than I can count. When you grow up in violent, dangerous situations, you garner this ability to read individuals by looking at them, and I don't know, it's weird. It's like seeing patterns and feeling the air, and the air gets thick, and you're like, this is not a good situation. Something is happening. So when I see this president and a pause, the Ku Klux Klans, he really wanted and was thinking in his head to link the president straight to the Ku Klux Klan and call his followers the Ku Klux Klan. And he stopped, and in that split second of rationale in his head, he said that might be a bad idea to link them directly, which is absolutely right. So he went with the Ku Klux Klan. There's certain things when people speak in certain sentences and use certain words and pauses in certain places that really speak volumes of what they're thinking and what they're trying to say. So we'll read it again. This president and the Ku Klux Klans and the rest of them, they think they've beaten us again, but they have no idea. We're just coming back. Nobody thinks anybody with the civil rights is beaten. Okay, KKK, Ku Klux Klan members joined for a rally, I don't remember where, and thousands of people showed up to protest against them. So what are you thinking about the Ku Klux Klan is what? What are you trying to hint at? That the Ku Klux Klan is on the rise, that they've got power? No, they don't. They've got anything but power. They are a very hated group in the United States. So what are you saying, Biden? What are you saying here? This is ridiculous. Last April, Trump defended his 2017 comments after the violence in Charlottesville, claiming that when he was not calling neo-Nazis or white supremacists very fine people, but rather those who opposed the removal of Confederate statues. After Trump gave that explanation, Biden said it was nonsense. You're nonsense, Biden. Nobody can say everybody in a group is all a certain way. You can't do that. You can't take all individuals and say they all are this way. You just can't do it. There are good people in every group and there are bad people in every group. You get a square and you get 10,000 Christians there. Not all the Christians are going to be good Christians. You get 10,000 Muslims there, not all the Muslims are going to be good Muslims. It's just the way it is. It's human nature. Welcome to reality. Biden then used the warning to rally the audience, telling them, we got to stand up and we got to fight, and recalling Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. Dr. King did not give up on that dream, he said, and I'm asking you all, don't give up on it. Don't give up now. We can defeat this moment of hate. You act like people are walking down the street and being attacked for, it's just, yes, it happens, but not like what you're trying to portray. You're being so hyperbolic and you're making it sound like the Ku Klux Klan has control of the White House. That's essentially what it sounds like you are saying. Reel it back a little bit, Biden. Come back down to reality. Okay? And if you're going to make absurd claims like that, you have got to have quite a bit of evidence to back up those claims, because right now it just seems to me like the Democrats are letting people down left and right and saying one thing and doing another, or saying one thing when reality shows something completely different. And at this point, I think people are getting this fatigue with the Democrats. Just shut up almost. I've talked to a lot of people. I debate online avidly. And I get the feeling a lot of people are just thinking that. Just shut up, Democrats. Take a step back, relax. You're not on a religious crusade. Defeat Trump at all costs. If you want to defeat Trump, come back down to reality and come back down to the middle moderate area and give us some good policy and quit doing all these attacks and hyperbolics and polling what sounds the worst. It makes you look bad. Makes you look wishy-washy, speaking with out of both sides of your mouth, so to speak, if you will. But that's what I got on this one. Give me your comments, likes, and concerns. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Any kind of interaction really helps me beat the freaking YouTube algorithm. And YouTube really hates political channels right now. It really, really, truly does. Big, small, it doesn't matter. Give me some engagement. Like I said, throughout the day, I will keep checking on the Virginia rally. And God, I hope it's a slow news day there. I'll see you guys on the next one.